Hello, and welcome to the Creative Mindset Podcast. This show is about life, creativity, and business. Every episode is about one of these three. My name is Isolde Trachtenberg, and I want to help you live in your creative mindset where anything is possible and you can achieve great things. Today, I want to talk to you about something that came to me in my meditation practice this morning. And I do a sort of modified version of Transcendental Meditation, sort of. It's my own thing. After being a meditation and yoga teacher for so long and helping so many people through those kinds of things, I've had to develop my own path. And I might talk about that in future episodes, but for right now, know that I do a repetitive sound meditation every morning. Right now it's about at 10 minutes at a time instead of longer because it's a crazy time. But I highly recommend taking some time in repose for yourself every day if you can. Okay, so the thing that came to me in meditation this morning was a simple phrase, and I'm already in love with it. It was this: no judgment, just self. And I almost jumped out of meditation when I thought that, when that came to me, because it's so true and it's so appropriate. I love that. And I'm a little at a loss to figure out the enormity of what that means to me, because I tend to be, like so many of us, my own worst critic. But it's so important for us to think about that. If we are not judging ourselves, if we're not comparing ourselves to anyone or anything else, if we're not criticizing ourselves, if we're not planning to criticize ourselves, if we're not going through those motions, then we can just be. Then we can just be the self. And there's something super powerful in that for me. What does it mean to just be the self? So I invite you all to start thinking about that. If I weren't criticizing myself, if I didn't have an inner monologue of, you could be doing this better, you should have done this better, you, etc., 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 what else could I be thinking? What other super creative thoughts and ideas could I be coming up with if at least part of my mental dialogue and monologue weren't being taken up by self-criticism or self-judgment? So I love the idea of that, and I'm going to start propagating it everywhere. No judgment, just self. Also, I want to recommend to you the idea of meditation also. I already said also. Now I've said it 3 times. I'm finding that making this an inviolate practice, like brushing my teeth, taking showers, etc., etc. If it's just part of your morning routine that you're going to drop into meditation for even 2 minutes a day, that would be amazing. And you will find that you will note that it doesn't work to do just 2 minutes. It grows and it keeps growing. And then you'll end up at somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes, I imagine. I love a particular app. It's available on iPhone. I'm not sure if it's available on Android. I'll have to check and put it in the show notes. But I've been using the app for about a week, and already it's my favorite meditation app ever. It's free. It's simple. Its design is elegant. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, but you don't need a lot. It lets you choose the amount of time you want to meditate in 5-minute increments. It has a fair number of bells and chimes for sounds to keep you mindful. It has mindfulness times and timing. It does whatever you want. If I had a single quibble about it, I would want to have the time increments be up by the minute instead of by the 5 minutes, because you might need to extend your meditation by a little instead of making such a big jump as far as your capabilities or your place as a meditator. So that's the one thing. Otherwise, it's perfect. And it allowed me to come up with this no judgment, just self phrase that I might have tattooed on the insides of my eyelids. The more we can think about that, the more we can start recognizing when we are being judgmental or self-criticizing, the more we can start making that distance between that stuff and ourselves. We can put it in its place, and we don't have to either listen to it or pay attention to it. And I love that. This is Isolde T, and I'm sending you all of my love. Until next time.
Thank
Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. Please subscribe to the podcast if you're new, and please tell your friends about the community we're building here. Today's episode was produced by Isolde Trachtenberg and is copyright Isolde Trachtenberg 2019. Today's music was from Kevin MacLeod, Laser Groove, and Ave Marimba, brought to you by Creative Commons License 3.0. As always, please remember this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Past performance does not guarantee future results, although we can always hope. Until next time, I send you all of my love.